What is HeartMath? Well, for me, it's a really unique and powerful toolkit, which makes it possible for us, for you and I, to access our unique ability, in fact, our innate ability as human beings, to self-regulate our own physiology. You see, we used to think as scientists that it was not possible to affect our physiology with our free will. But because of the unique fact that our emotional status affects our heart rhythms and our physiology moment to moment, HeartMath has been able to show through all its 26 years plus of research and 300 peer review articles that when we're able to self-regulate by combining a very specific emotional focus and breathing technique, we are able to change our heart rhythms and thus our physiology and the status of our health moment to moment. Because I like to think of HeartMath as being really two halves of an essential whole, like this. So on the one half, we have these really powerful self-regulation techniques, which, as I said, combine a very specific emotional focus, often with a breathing technique. And what these do is that when we're under these states of stress and overwhelm, by moving into these states, using these self-regulation techniques, we can rapidly reduce the detrimental impact that stress, all those 1,400 chemicals that are released every time we feel stressed, can shift our physiology right there in the moment. And how do we know this? Well, this is really thanks to the second half that makes up HeartMath, and that's really thanks to the biofeedback technology. You see, when you wear a heart rate monitor, you can see in real time, in the moment, how shifting your emotional focus affects your heart rhythms and how this over time really improves your ability to perform and has the ability to improve the quality of your thinking and improve your health over time. So it's the real synergism of these two powerful tools which allow us to experience these higher levels of energy and well-being. Because you may not be aware of it, but in fact, how you think and how you feel profoundly affects your heart rhythms moment to moment. So let me show you how this works. This is a graph, in fact, two graphs taken of the same man wearing a heart rate monitor. And the difference between the two is that really he was in a very different emotional state. So the first graph, depicted by red, you can see actually on both graphs the heart rate is the same, between 50 and 100 beats a minute on the left there. And along the bottom, the time, between 1 and 200 seconds. So not a very long period of time. And in the top graph, he was wearing this heart rate monitor and he was in a very negative state of frustration, anxiety and stress. And I hope you can see that his heart rate is changing moment to moment, as it should, as is healthy. But I hope you can see that overall his sort of rate of change is very erratic or chaotic. In fact, we'd call this in HeartMath an incoherent heart rhythm pattern. And I hope you can appreciate that it's actually very different rhythm to the one below, where he was in a positive state. And he was able to achieve this just moments later by applying a HeartMath technique, by moving into a state with an emotional focus and a very specific breathing technique, feeling appreciative, feeling gratitude, love, compassion. And as a result of this, created a very coherent physiological pattern of his heart, which is radically affecting the way his physiology is functioning in that moment globally. So I hope you can appreciate the power of these two tools, of these self-regulation techniques which are scientifically validated, and you can actually use with your eyes open in the moment to restore equilibrium when you need to reduce those detrimental chemicals of stress within seconds. And secondly, that powerful biofeedback technology, which allows us to really gain a window into where we're at right now and track these tools that we're using and improving our ability over time to think, feel, and be.